So I saw a tweet earlier that had said, I believe transgender people exist but are a very small portion of the population and am suspect of the explosion of trans people lately. Again, if that bothers you, figure out how to deal with that. Now, this is a notion that I've come across before, that somehow more and more people are turning transgender. Despite the fact that's not how it works. The reason why so many are coming out now is because it's more accepted in a lot of places now. People aren't as afraid to be themselves, so more and more people are coming out to live their best lives. Part of this belief stems from the fact that people who make claims like this frequently do not know anything about history or how far back this phenomenon dates. Now, in part 1 and in my Atlantic World video, I did mention how popular culture and religion are used to turn minorities on each other, but for the LGBTQ community, this goes much further back than the 20th century. In many parts of pre-colonial Africa, there was no concept of transphobia or homophobia. For example, in Ethiopia, you had the Mali people, who had a gender role called Ashtime, who were assigned male at birth and lived as females. There were the Nuba peoples in the Sudan, the Yoruba and the Igbo, who didn't even assign gender roles until age 5. And the Dageba people didn't even assign gender based on anatomy, but on the energy a person exhibited. Uganda was also traditionally accepting of trans and gay individuals. This wasn't just Africa, mind you, it was in Central, South, and North America as well. It wasn't until the European colonists arrived that things changed. They brought their religion, culture, and of course, their rigid beliefs on gender and sexuality. They believed it was their God-given duty to civilize the savages. And as a result, cultures were contaminated, wiped out, and eventually replaced. They turned the ones they converted on the ones that wouldn't. Even after the colonial powers somewhat backed off, the changes they made remained, and in some cases they were still trying to exert influence. A few years ago, Uganda tried to pass a Kill the Gays bill, and this bill was in fact backed by US politicians who belonged to a Christian organization known as the C Street Fellowship. We are nothing new. We've always been here. Our presence and influence were wiped from the face of the earth. We're not mentioned in history books and barely anywhere in popular culture for fear that our existence will somehow turn youths trans or gay. And when we are portrayed, it's almost always negatively. And when we finally gain some acceptance, they try to turn us on each other. This is nothing new. We shouldn't let them set the rules. Our lives, our identities are not theirs to police. Trying to set definitions of who are the good ones, or what persons should be considered beautiful, and then pitting them against the ones who don't fit the mold. We should never let them turn us on each other. Not again. Not ever again.